they are sending a team to Haiti to investigate how the president was killed. When all the fingers point to the planning, the organizing, the payments, the money involved, all of that passed through or originated from America. So when you were saying somebody go here to, you just take people for Papa Show. It was the payment of the persons involved, those who travel from Colombia, which group pay for them plane ticket and all of that. So you go investigate when you have all of the facts and information right at your fingertips. But Haiti is being punished for being that glorious beacon of hope that they provided for Black people on and off the continent. Then we see now the Cubans, there was a demonstration in Cuba, and with this demonstration, we see some rank and file stupidity. One of them is the editorial in today's Observer newspaper. Editorial, yes, in today's Observer. That editorial headline is this: Cuba needs to move with the times. And when you read the article, they are blaming Cuba. They're blaming the government of Cuba. That people are demonstrating and people are this and that and so on. So you read the article, the blame is on the government of Cuba. And they keep doing these things because the Observer don't want for rattle and feathers. Everybody know. You just had a United Nations vote a few weeks ago. And 180 countries were in favor of the embargo being lifted. 180. 2 countries alone oppose it, America and Israel. And you come now and blame the Cuban government. When is the embargo and the sanctions and the ill treatment that the United States government has been giving to Cuba since 1962? The same year as Jamaica's independence. And the country, when them said the country still surviving, them tighten the screw each time, tighten it a little more. And now you find some people being influenced by America, being influenced by those in Florida, because at the same time they had the demonstration in Cuba, they had some demonstration in Florida in solidarity with those in Cuba. So this was not spontaneous as they are trying to put it in a newspaper. Well planned, well organized, and well financed. And you blame the victim, you're blaming it on the Cuban government and not on the United States government. Oh, man. Come on, man, observe it. But you never write nothing than write this foolishness where you put out, man. You take people for idiot. You want to take Jamaican people for idiot. So, brothers and sisters, don't be fooled by this. And don't feel so because it come out in a newspaper and it is the editorial that it's independent thinking and that it is non-political. Rubbish that. It's very much political, strongly political, So, in Cuba and the demonstrations, it's time the rest of the Caribbean, the rest of the world, do more than go to a UN and vote. It's time that if the rest of the world say, America, we are going to deal with Cuba. We are going to trade Cuba. We are going to be, Cuba has helped us. Cuba has helped. Who them don't help, they have helped others who are related to those who need help over the years. You mightn't like all of them policies, but who is you to tell anybody about democracy? How can America tell anybody about democracy? You can't even manage your own democracy. A country like Jamaica can't tell nobody about democracy. A country like Jamaica, where we are having, what I'm saying, so far 750 deaths, murders, not just deaths, murders. And a country which doesn't have that, which has a population which is more than 3 times our population, probably almost 4 times our population. And them don't even have, they don't have 100 murders for the year. In fact, they don't even have 20 murders for the year. How you compare that? And they're still under the embargo. They are helping us. They have sent doctors here that are working amongst us. They have sent doctors and medicines all over Africa, South America, and so on. This is money and so on and things that they could have used in their own country, yet they are assisting other countries. And the Cubans played an important part in defeating the South Africans, the white South Africans, when the white South Africans came across to Angola. The Cubans played an important part in joining with the African soldiers and defeated the white South Africans in battle. And brothers and sisters, South Africa didn't ease up on apartheid because of not the kindness of whether it is Botha or any of those leaders. It didn't ease up because I know, nobody's generosity. It eased up because white South African soldiers were going back in body bags. The death toll was mounting up whenever they raided. They were accustomed to carry out raids in the frontline states from South Africa. So when you talk about states like Namibia, Botswana, Lesotho, Zimbabwe, Zambia, even Mozambique, Tanzania, those are the countries that borders with Angola. If you look down in the southern part of Africa, those countries suffered under the South African hand, the white South Africans, during the time of apartheid. And those weapons that the white South African, they got them from France, they got them from America, they got them from England as their main suppliers, and from other places, that they used to murder the freedom fighters in Namibia, to murder the freedom fighters in Botswana, to murder the freedom fighters in Angola. There's a famous massacre, the Kasinga massacre. And then in Zambia, they used to raid there and kill off a lot of the brothers and sisters. In Zimbabwe, same thing. In Mozambique, in Tanzania, further going up the line at East Africa, those countries feel it at their hands. So when the South Africans sent out now and bomb from the air and kill a lot of Africans, it was all right. But the day now, when the Africans fight back along with the Cubans and started shooting down the helicopter gunships, shooting down the planes, set traps for them, and many of them were going back in body bags, that was when now the government, the white government, started negotiating for peace. And I was very sorry that at one stage when they had the South African government on the run, that the armies, the Cubans, the Africans, and so on, had them on the run, that they did not march in and take Johannesburg and Pretoria, which are the citadels of South Africa. It ended up discussing and negotiating with Nelson Mandela, who could not, despite being a brilliant mind and a brilliant leader, but he couldn't completely understand what was taking place on the ground in terms of military battle, So brothers and sisters, we are grateful for the Cubans, and we are not. It's not the Cuban government fault that the country is going through such austerity. You know, yes, it's 11 million people in Cuba, and Jamaica have 3 million. So 3, 6, 9, almost 4 times. 3 times plus, almost 4 times, and yet their murder rate is way below. So brothers and sisters, observer, you really show up yourself when you're condemned and talk foolishness about need for move with the times and all of that. You really show up yourself. Need for backward with them things. Blame it where the blame lies. 180 odd countries voted in favor of the people of Cuba. Only 2 countries, the white racist Israel, and we know why them have to toe the line with America, because them get so much billions from America that them can't do otherwise, and so on. But you don't want your newspaper come out and condemn them, and we know why also. So brothers and sisters, bitter sugar. Brother Miguel Lorne here, and the station Best FM, and we go from 6 o'clock right up to 10 o'clock. We want to remind you, because the song you just heard from David M., and where he says, I'm the son of Sisyphus, and I paid with 90 million francs. That was the amount demanded from the Haitian people in gunboat policies. And when he said, I'm the last black Jacobins, there is actually a book written by C.L.R. James. C.L.R. James, that brilliant Trinidadian writer. And the book is entitled The Black Jacobins. That was how they referred to the freedom fighters in Haiti at the time. And he says, David M. says, I'm a child of a lesser God, and that the Haitian people will rise again. They will rise. But let me remind you of the great bookman. Now, from the Black Jacobins, written by C.L.R. James, where he says, by hard experience, they had learned, that is the Asian people, had learned that isolated efforts were doomed to failure. And in the early months of 1791, in and around Le Cap, they were organizing for revolution. Voodoo was the medium of the conspiracy. In spite of all prohibitions, the slaves traveled miles to sing and dance and practice the rites and talk, and now, since the revolution, to hear the political news and make their plans. Bookman, a papaloi or high priest, a gigantic Negro, was the leader. He was headman of a plantation, and following the political situation both among the whites and among the mulattoes, by the end of July 1791, the blacks in and around Le Cap were ready and waiting. Now, when they said here that Bookman was following what was happening with the whites and with the mulattoes, and also with the both locally and internationally, because at that time and around that same time also, the people in France were carrying out a revolution. Haiti at the time was controlled by France. So the people now, when the people, especially the hard black strugglers in Haiti, heard and realized that there was a revolution taking place in France, and that leaders government people were losing them head. The guillotine was wassy, you know. The guillotine is a thing that it's set up in a way and you push your head underneath and it just come down, boom, and chop off your neck, chop off your head. So the guillotine was working non-stop. So the people said, well, if them people are fight for liberty and rights and all these things, then we are doing Haiti, we must make a move now. So they make the move and they organized with the leadership of Bookman, who himself was a high priest. Now, the plan was conceived on a massive scale, and they aimed at exterminating the whites and taking the colony for themselves. There were at least 12,000 brothers and sisters at Lekap, 6,000 of them men. And they had planned that one night the slaves in the suburbs and outskirts of Lekap were to light fire on the plantations. At this signal, and when I read the word the slaves, it's because I'm reading from the book and I don't want to change it up, but you know I don't like the word slaves. But because I'm quoting from the book, and the book says slaves, but I don't like it at all. But anyway. Right, so they had a meeting and they were planning a all-island revolution, and led by Bookman, the plan was to get rid of all whites out of Haiti. They never did that. They never get rid of all whites. And one of the problems that Haiti has today is that strong mulatto class. Those are the people that they come between, especially the fathers that are white and the mothers are black. So the mulatto children come about. And that class, because that class of people in Haiti, they want to usurp the whites. They want to behave like the whites. They want to treat the Africans like how the whites treat the Africans. So they play an important role over the years in trying to stagnate the progress of Haiti, and also to propel themselves to be the highest class in the country. They play an important part even now in Haiti. Now, we in Jamaica, and I hear many people talking about, you know, it's not a matter of whether they will carry out assassinations here or that we must, you know, when the neighbor house is on fire, you must have your water ready and so on. It's not that angle and so easy. What I want you to work out and analyze is that that same Creole class that you have in Haiti, we have that Creole class here in Jamaica. When the brothers and sisters here were fighting to end the enslavement, end the brutality, end the repression that was going on for black people, and by the 1830s, the 1840s, the 1850s come right up, the Creole class, that brown to white set of people, they juxtapose themselves within the leadership of the Jamaican struggle. So when it came up to the 20th century now and the 19 this and the 19 that, you know, when it came up to that, you find now that the Manleys and the Busters and that Creole class, and although Manley, Norman I'm talking now, wasn't as brown as them, he makes sure to marry a white woman now for give him the credentials that he need to be classified and to be fully accepted within that class. So that Creole class now, and that Creole class is ruling Jamaica today, brothers and sisters. That's the comparison I want you to look at. That Creole class that is running Haiti is that Creole class running Jamaica. And therefore, The conditions are ripe because we want to overthrow that class of people. We want that class of people that have oppressed us. Them control the land, them control the money, them control the purse, them control the manufacturing sector, them control the agricultural sector. All we get is the crumbs. So although the book will show you that emancipation is the 1st of August, brethren, we never start emancipate yet. And although the more tell about 1962 independence, brethren, the chains don't even come off much as for fling weight. Because economically, the few little people them can point to and say, those are some black successes. Oh, brethren, if you ever know the exploitation will take place. And that is where the thing parallel with Haiti strongly. That class of people with the Bustamantes and the Manleys juxtapose themselves. And now you hear people, Jamaica is a democratic country. You all are here. Which democracy we're talking about? Where you buy votes? Jamaica must be the worst country where the blatant vote buying take place. It never underhand. Where the whole skullduggery is overboard. Where people send taxi for go pick up people for carry them to a police station and vote. And the taxi come from a party where if you ever no one vote for that party, the chances are your house might even burn down that night. Because I watch people tell when the car come, them call runners and carriers, and them find every excuse and say, "Me not come yet, come back later." And come back later. And I know one lady, when them come back, and she give them an excuse, and when them come back now and she disappear. And the amount of clot and bad word we cuss. And what we go do because she take man for idiot and I tell man for come back, and she knows she don't want to go because she don't want to go vote. But because of the whole, that is what happened in Jamaica. That wasn't hidden. That's not the thing. It's by vote, it's that run election, and you send people from one area to another area, money give out. It's so skullduggery. And the media in Jamaica know that that is what takes place, but it suits them to say that we have had a fair election. What kind of fair election? Foolishness. That Creole class here in Jamaica, we have to make sure that they lose their power. Because if they don't, then we will always be subjugated. History has shown that violence don't get rid of that class of people. Violence don't. You got to attack a system. You have got to understand the system. You have got to understand, because if you get to the 1 and 2 building, that won't work. You have got to make sure that the land come to the people. You got to make sure that nobody's asking anybody to come give the people no wealth or give them the money, But what we are saying is that the means of production, what we're saying is that a fair wages for a fair work, all these things. What we're saying is that the wealth of the country ought to help the people. That's what we're saying, brothers and sisters. And the ganja industry is a classic example. All these years, you brutalize, beat up the black people, beat up Rasta, beat up the poor people, and you find them with a little spliff, with a little dust. Mario Dean was killed with him had a little spliff in his bag. That is why we want to treat poor people all these years. And yet now, when the truth is coming out as to the medicinal and other values of ganja, what we see that is on foreigners come to Jamaica, come get license for ganja, ship out ganja, deal with ganja. All of the few, the 1 and 2 little brethren with them get a license here and there, them have got through so much qualification. It's hypocrisy, man. If you're going to liberate it so that the people who have suffered all these years, the 1950s, the 1960s, you remember in Jamaica, there was a time when it was mandatory that a man get 18 months for a little spliff, a little ganja pipe. And now, something is coming up I want to do. It's in a friend and company and all some people who used to fight against ganja. We have interviews of people who used to fight against it. All of a sudden, them form conglomerate now. And they become the spokespersons for ganja. What is hypocrite, man? We have to, that is what I mean by you get to that, a class of people who feel they must hold on to everything that will benefit them. That's what we mean, brothers and sisters. That Creole class, that class where them push up people like Bustamante and Manley, who was merely fronts because they wanted to be good English boys, good to the Queen, thank the Queen of England. Everything the Buster said, we must thank the Queen of England for our emancipation because we would still be in slavery. Idiot. Disrespect to the freedom fighters who shed their blood for our freedom. You come tell people that, write it, you know.
Sacrifice.
Yes, we must thank the Queen of England, you know. And you have people like those talking about them as national heroes. Yeah. So, let me continue here now. Just take a part here before I close this part of the book. On the night of the 22nd now, that's 1791, a tropical storm raged with lightning and gusts of wind and heavy showers of rain. Carrying torches to light their way, the leaders of the revolt met in an open space in the thick forest of the Morne Rouge, a mountain overlooking Le Cap. There, Bookman gave the last instructions, and after voodoo incantations, that's another thing, you know. Them do everything for ridicule the people and religion, you know. Voodoo at this and voodoo at that and all sort of things. It's for them spiritual traditions. Yes. The voodoo incantations. He stimulated his followers by a prayer spoken in Creole, which, like so much spoken on such occasions, has remained. This was Bookman's prayer. I don't know Creole sufficiently to say it in Creole, so I'm going to say it in English for now. The God who created the sun, which gives us light, who rouses the waves and rules the storm, though hidden in the clouds, he watches us. He sees all that the white man does. The God of the white man inspires him with crime. But our God calls upon us to do good works. He will direct our arms and aid us. Throw away the symbol of the God of the whites, who has so often caused us to weep, and listen to the voice of liberty, which speaks in the hearts of us all. He's one of the greatest inspirational speech you will ever hear. Bookman. When I tell them, throw away the symbols of the God of the white. At the cross, around your neck, the cross, yeah, wear. There's so much people proudly wear. I say all ministers of government are wear cross. I say artists are wear cross. I say athletes, footballers, and things are wear cross. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to throw away the symbol of the God of the white, which is that cross. You know? And stick to our own now, and our own tradition, and our own power. That is the call that we today echo. You know, we're still following what's happening in Haiti. Yeah. We see pictures of mercenaries, and they say that from Colombia, some ex-soldiers involved, and them claim that them call them mastermind, but me know the mastermind is in Washington. Yes, the mastermind is in Washington. And them claim that is a doctor from we live in Florida and all that sort of thing. And so, you know.
I see them have some people sit on the floors and capture.
Yes. As you were saying?
No, I saw them have some people with the capture on the floor.
Yes. That might plug in? Yes. Oh, yes, that them say them capture, and apparently them kill some, and so on. So we're watching it. We want to see what the outcome as we go along. Nice. So later on now, like I said, the ganja policy, which is a policy, which is something that we thought would have helped towards.
Not plug in your roommates. Not plug it. Never realize.
Yes. To get rid of that Creole class in Jamaica, that brown to white class that dominate banking, it dominates the politics, it dominates manufacturing, you know, and the similar thing have we done at the bottom of the ladder and so forth. So we're going to be speaking with Ras Oba over there in St. Vincent. We're going to be speaking again to Ras Frankai over in Antigua. And why we want to speak to Frankai and Ras Oba in Antigua and St. Vincent is because those countries is now making Jamaica look like, when I say Jamaica, I mean the government of Jamaica, look like rank and file idiots. Because in these countries, they have made it clear that in order to get a license to trade in ganja, to grow sacramental ganja, to grow medicinal ganja, and so on, Rastas don't have to pay. Not like Jamaica. Jamaica make no exceptions for Rastafari. So you have to come up with your 10,000 US. You have to come up with your high chain link fence, 10 foot high. You have to come up with your drivable road. That means you must get a bulldozer to go bulldozer hillside that them can drive, come up to your ganja farm. And one whole heap of conditions that them impose on the people. And Rasta similar to the foreign investors coming in. So if I and I don't have those money and those preconditions to satisfy those preconditions, and the foreigner have the money and him can satisfy those preconditions, so he will get the license and we are going to end up being the workers for him. That's how bad it is. Yes. My brother over in Guyana, we're also going to be speaking with him and so on. So here, my brethren, yes, I give thanks that I come forward. You want? Yeah, man. Black us out, man.
Yeah, we give thanks and praise for this blessed moment, man, to be a part of this elevation of the mind and consciousness of African people.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So
but tell the people who is a man.
Yeah, we decide, you know,
I prefer you say it, you know. I have been saying it all along that the man I know will be coming. You see, when the outside, eh?
Yes.
You remember him?
Yeah, man, we have a nice little reasoning.
I read.
Yes, man.
I read. Nice. Because I told him you were coming here today, you know.
It's a blessing.
Yes, man. Give thanks. So we have brother Ija Noah, and I have made it clear the brother is now in the studio with us, and so on. So Ija Noah, you will be launching your album. Yes.
Yes, on the 14th of August in Atlanta, yes.
Yes. Yes, you'll be launching your album, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, on the 14th of Atlanta.
14th of August.
Yeah, the 14th of August in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, you'll be launching your album.
Yes.
Beautiful. What's the name of the album?
Wake Up. And the subtitle, The Final Call to African People.
Okay. Wake Up. I do. What we need more to make our people wake up?
I don't know what we're gonna take.
In England, a football the other day, England lose the match. Them cost the black people.
Yeah, well, you see, like
and like we know wake up and know say, I know where you are them place there, you know, them people it just work every time. In America, them get a black woman to represent America at the United Nations. So you have a black woman now. When the voter go against the rest of the world, is a black woman I put up her hand on behalf of America. Embarrassment.
Same thing they do with the Colin Powell.
Yes. Them get a black vice president. And them send her down South America and Central America to go tell the people them don't come to America. Yet she is the daughter of immigrants, you know. So she should have sympathetic and understanding, don't it?
Chocolate cracker.
Because her mother and father come from. So you tell people, when the people, no most hypocrisy that. Then you have the Secretary of Defense is Austin, a black man. So you have a black man now organize the bombing of black people.
It's a final deception.
Yes.
The final deception.
Now Britain have a woman over there with them called Baroness, Scotland, a black woman. Then they send her out the other day to come rally the troops. Because with Britain leaving the European Union, Britain is reinforcing its Commonwealth. It needs its markets, it needs its raw materials, so it's reinforcing the Commonwealth. So there's a black woman, them named Baroness Scotland, and it's she them sent out here to come tell we now say things will virtually be the same and we'll be treated good and all started. Well, them choose. Well, them free for choose who they want. But why does black people take these jobs? You must stop and think and say, but wait, I am being used, a house slave here.
Being used.
They are using me to convince the Jamaican people.
Motor call them both slaves.
You know.
They use as camouflage.
And brothers and sisters, this is not a tactics which is new.
No, it's not.
The British churches, Methodists, Presbyterian, Anglicans, and so, they, in the 1930s, 1940s, 1920s coming up, they used to use black people from Jamaica and send them to Africa to go proselytize people. To get them, because when the white man went to Africa and started to tell the people about God, so go from here, you don't know nothing about God. Can't come tell me nothing about God. If you go and run the white people, them say, oh, what have a different strategy. So they came here, get the Jamaicans, and send them to places like Nigeria and them places. Because, we see a black man come, we feel like, say, all right, our brother come home. But him come wickeder with the message to get us in entrapment. Yes, what I mean? Yes. That's what happened. Jamaicans were used for those jobs.
Are you talking about the early 1900s?
Yes.
Still going on. Still going on.
So, and them gladly use that, because in a Ghana, I went up to a place. Wait, please. Rita Marley have a house and a student not far from there. And I saw some breadfruit trees and some ackee trees. Wow. So I said, wait, everybody, look at children, everybody, because that come down. And one thing about the Africans, they retain their history, the griots. The griots who repeat the history in songs. So even the youngest person in the community know the history. It's an amazing system. So everyone was quick to tell me that it was the Jamaicans who came. Many of them work in the civil service there. Them claim that them are built up Ghana's civil service. But the whole strategy was to get the people to acknowledge Christianity, to leave their traditional religious tradition and spiritual tradition, and to accept the white man thing. And as a result of that, now they brought the breadfruit, they brought the ackee, and some other things that we saw in that community. They had escons themselves, the Jamaicans that went to Ghana. Some of them went to Nigeria, another West African, and they used them to get the people to come to Christianity. So, people have to think now, man.
Yeah, it's time.
And when Marcus Garvey says race first, that's what it means. Race first. So you have to do anything against your black race. He said, no, you can't take that job.
That's treason.
Yes.
It's treason.
Yes. So I just know, tell us a little about the album,
Yes,
Talk to us about the album.
The album there
Yeah.
is to heal, uplift, educate, and enlighten African people, period.
Yes.
You know, as I've observed over the period in this dispensation.
Yes, go and black up.
Malcolm said anywhere in the world they go, African people can help. You know, and the brother man just asks what we have to do collectively to wake up African people. I don't know. It's a mirage of things because the enemy of African people using and deploying multiple weapons simultaneously because it's out of chaos. They get their so-called order, you know, so they create, they destabilize, you know, they stage all kind of different, you know, ploys against the people, African people, and out of that they create the situation and they pretend to be having the answers to resolve the problem and the situation that they create. These are old tricks, and it works. It always work, you know. So if it don't break, don't fix it. You know. So you know, Fela Kuti, I am my ancestors. Fela Kuti said, "Music is a weapon of the future," and Eisenhower said, "Music is a weapon of now." It's not a lot of us who is gonna use the music to heal, to uplift, to educate, and to enlighten African people. Peter Touch, one of my favorite of all times who have done it.
Very revolutionary.
Yeah, Peter, you know, Peter said, I were commissioned to do this work in whatever sphere, specifically music, is to be the voice of the voiceless and to speak for the downpressed and the underprivileged. So that's it in a nutshell. That's the type of music that I do. You know, and I give thanks to the Most High and to the ancestors and to this medium, so we can get the word out to the people. Because I say good over evil every time, life over death, and that's what time it is. You know, it's not complicated. So race first.
I don't know. Yes. What you really think black people can really do right now to be continental and be as one, even on one purpose, full action that we need to do in the crisis that we face now.
It's a crisis that have been brewing and being perfected by the enemy for years.
I know the normal road like getting education, people identifying themselves with themselves and the place that they belong.
Right.
So it doesn't matter where you are, you have a roots and a culture.
Right.
That is inhabited in a place.
Right.
You know?
That's a loaded question. It's many things that we need to do simultaneously. You know, we need to be more active, you know, for ourselves and our people, and that starts in the home, you know, and then it will spread out.
Yeah.
You know, it starts in the home with the man and the woman and the child. That's the Holy Trinity.
Well, I really think most importantly, the family. And in the family itself, I think we need to concentrate on our women.
And the man, it's a balance though.
It's a balance. But
it's a
definitely
balance.
The woman is
the first
more
teacher.
Influential.
She's the first teacher.
With growing up. So we need her to be even more cultured and rounded as the wholesomeness should be. You know? And then she needs to project those values and efficacy that we need to move forward as a family, as a community, as a nation, and as a
race. Yes, as a race. Yes. You are so right. Everything starts at home. You know, and it starts with the man, the woman, and the child.
I really believe that all women are all black queens or princesses.
Yes.
They need to get this transformation. You know?
But overtly and covertly, there is a constant shit, like Peter just said, in action right now as we speak to make sure that don't happen.
True.
Because they know that unity among us as a people is crucial to their survival.
Yes.
Is what I'm saying. So they're gonna do anything to sabotage and to derail our unity as a people, whether it be alcohol, drugs, miseducation, miscegenation, television, the music, you know, the food, there's a multiple weapons that being used on our people simultaneously. And I wrote a song years ago. It's not even recorded yet. Them Negroes are tools.
Negroes are tools.
Yeah. And I think it was Dr. John Henry Clark said, the Negroes don't have the black man, the African don't have no friend. And I know that. I've proven that. So, but what the tactics, like the brother was saying a while ago, Brother Miguel, they always handpicked and trained people that look like us. Bob Marley said it in his song, I don't want my people to be tricked by mercenaries. And we have some mercenaries in our community, in politics, in religion, in business. They're all over. They place them, strategically place them in the different sphere, in the different disciplines. And these are their inside people, are the people that they use to put up in front of us to deceive us. And we have to be cognizant of the fact of this. I've always been talking about, and I'm going to use this opportunity to say that, His Imperial Majesty says international morality is at stake. So there's a breakdown in morality, and our people are susceptible to taking bribes because of the way they have been inculcated and the way they have been miseducated. That's what I'm saying. And yes. Okay. Yeah. I've been inculcated.
Yeah, I
didn't bring it with me.
I don't know.
Yes.
Dropping in at the studio.
I can get it to send him. If you give me an email, I get it to send it to my.
Yes.
I give him a website. He can put it on the website.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, John.
Yeah. Make Windy go and hold it. Let me give him that.
All right, Windy. Windy is here with us as well. Welcome, Windy.
Respect, glory and honor to everyone. It is here again on another Wednesday night. My brothers and my sisters, be firm, be strong, love your Creator, whether you are young or you are old. Please to remember the Queen of Ethiopia, first father and mother of creation. We know that no man in the world no come out of space. Everything was done by flesh. I am Alpha and Queen Omicom, first father and mother of creation, who bring the first child in the world. And they're trying to trick us about Adam and Eve. Today we live to see it. That black people is getting very wise. When I was small, I remember they used to tell me, tram car, postman, an aeroplane bring baby, come live from bed. When I was small, I watched a woman after she was pregnant. I went to public hospital when I was very small. And there I get my now to know that was a lie they was telling me. There was no tram car, no postman, no aeroplane bring no natural baby come here. Must be a natural man and a woman. First father and mother of creation. When they tell you about Adam and Eve, people they was living years and thousands of centuries before these people was born. That was the white world. So they are trying to still hold us down and try to trick us and fool us. It's full time now for black people to get wise. When they are telling you about Adam and Eve and foolishness, please to remember, when a woman is passing through a little tribulation, when the month end, or in the middle of the month, or the starting of the month, right? It is a natural man go to a woman. Nothing is hiding again. You cannot fool this generation. You tell the generation that they laugh at you, or the very phone they have before them. In the classroom, you're showing them everything now, what was hidden from us from when we were small. So Tafari, Adoni High, Melchizedek, King Washi, our High Vine, High Majesty, King Emperor Eli, King Selassie, the first ancient black king of creation. When I was small, they used to hide that man from me, right? And first mother of creation. So don't make no one try to trick your brain and try to fool you. The pastors in Jamaica here, I don't shame to talk the truth. They know the truth. They know what is going on. But there are certain things that cannot tell you. You want to know if you must eat pork? Go and read Numbers, right? Exodus chapter 5, right? Exodus chapter 5 and Numbers 6. If you want, that will tell you what and what you must eat and what you must not eat. And Isaiah 43 tell us plain that this king born in Ethiopia, first father of creation, reincarnate and reincarnate. But reincarnation is truth. It's nothing hiding. If you do good on the earth and you die, the Creator can give you back another life, right? Put into another flesh. Word, sound, in power, which create creation from the world created until now. So when they might tell you about Adam and Eve and spin you around and try to trick your brain, look into yourself, right? If a white man go to a black woman, you see them bring a mixed breed, which the Bible tells that you must not do it. It is wrong. For them race, deal with them race. But our race, deal with our race. And then you have no mistake, I know, and we call it defilement in our race. It is happening today. Right. Well, this now, I'm going to play one of the greatest hymns in the world. When I play this song, I always cry. I don't believe I'm going to cry tonight. But I'm asking you please to get out your phone and all your tablets and everything that you have. This song is a very powerful song and a wonderful song.
Wake up the title call.
We just pass it around.
If you want,
Play this.
Please.
Wendy's here, and Wendy's gonna play a song for us. And he says, please to get out the equipment and tape it up because this is a very powerful song. Here comes Wendy.
you can do 3 or 5 times. And wake up because
Oh Lord my Jah, since I have some wonders, consider all thy works, thy hands have made, and word sound in power. I see just star and I hear his rolling thunder. Blessed and glory and honor. Please remember, try your best and get it taped. You're not going to hear it again. Went through the wood. Christ shall come. Thanks very much for listening. Praise King Alpha and praise Queen of come. Alpha and come from the beginning of creation. Let Jah live and let Jah be praised. And please remember, let no one check you. The white world cannot save you. It's we, the black people, have to save you by coming together and unite and live loving. And that's how we the gun, man.
All right. Thanks a lot, Wendy. Thanks for coming through. I wanted you to come that you could have met Ajanoa.
Yes.
Well, and not met because him know you from long time. But
youth.
yes. But you see what had happened when we were all youths. Yeah. When you were the one giving out your peanuts, your guinea, your oranges, and showing your kindness. And of course, above all, your intellect. Because you were always advocating Rastafari. I know you. So
from the Red House and
over by Maxfield Park.
Yes. We call the road the name Langard Avenue.
Yes.
Coming on from Walton Park, right up back to Maxfield Avenue.
Right.
Nearby the Ethiopian Orthodox
church, right.
Yes.
But some of us used to come from Maxfield Avenue now.
You see.
Where we remember them time the Jamaica German Automotive School wasn't there.
Nice.
So we could have cut through this. But we used to go over and play football.
Yes.
And cricket and everything.
Yes, man.
And then go over now to the Red House.
You see.
And so on. So we give thanks for that. We're glad to meet the brother. Yes. And don't worry, we will make sure that our gratitude for all that you have done for the thousands of youths that won't go in vain. Yes, we give thanks.
Excuse me, there is a principal that teach at the school of Walton Park Road. What do you call it? St. Jude's School.
Yes.
Saw me one morning and I was very hungry and I telling her Andrew, since week here. And believe you me, that teacher shocked me. You know what she did? She ordered something for me to eat and for me to drink. And I make sure I juggled down everything down my throat. And I was so glad that the Kimosa nearly choked me. I was so happy. And that teacher, boy, she have done a great work for me. And I can remember, in year before last, a policeman have his daughter going to that school. And I can remember, the little daughter fun of me. She was about 11, 12 at that time. And I can remember my brothers and sisters, no lie I'm telling no one did tonight. Believe you me, and that policeman had his daughter. And because his nether daughter was in problem with some home family thing, it get to his brain. And the man come down and hold one screwdriver and a juke up on my belly, you know. Like he want to push the screwdriver in my belly. And believe you me, I wouldn't tell you a lie. Another policeman come up. You understand? Another policeman come up. And said, brother, when they went turn, me go put one in my head now. And he's a policeman, you know. Him saying vex because the principal tell him down at the school how him really treat Wendy. And the children them cry and the children and the parents them was strongly behind me and appreciate you know a whole lot and give thanks to the Almighty that when school open back, trying the best, learn all you can. But you will be sorry when you are a man. Give thanks, blessed, glory and honor to our wonderful King and Savior and to all my brothers and all my sisters. Live good, think good, see good, and eat good. Blessed.
Rastafari. Give thanks for that, Wendy.
Wendy, for you, I'm going to dedicate this poem for you.
Nice.
Came out of a workshop that I did with Black Ellis called Poets in Unity, Right House Given Sober. but for your purposefulness and your meaningfulness to the black race and to all of our children, we give thanks. It's called Inna This School.
Yes,
Inna This School, all of we are youth, and we make the rules to reveal how we feel, to expound, pound, how it sound, and whether dub or not, we give it what we got. We stand up straight and don't hesitate. We dare to share. Yes, Windy. Yes, my fellow brethren, the time come to show it. That spark inside, that light, that guide. We liberate it. We liberate it in unity. In what?
Unity.
Say it again.
In unity.
You and me in unity. One love.
Give thanks. Thanks a lot, brother. All right, Wendy, we're going to keep in touch with you.
Yes, give
and
thanks.
we give thanks that you could come by and so
when
on.
you show you get the
ink them.
the ink them next week.
Yes,
You
man.
can have 8 at the round thing them.
Yes.
When I was at
You have to talk to the mic, you know.
Oh yes. When I was at Mapco.
Oh, I see. Mapco,
So when they was changing up now, through the world of them women, the guard and everybody,
yes,
and he was going to throw them away, but it's good ink them.
okay.
But I make sure I give it to the Rasta brethren that you can prolong your little journey.
All right.
To the
Give
power,
thanks.
to the powers of the Most High, Tapara, Adonai, King Washi, or High and I just stay. King Emperor Selassie, the first ancient black king of creation. Remember, Isaiah 43, let no pastor trick you.
Yes.
Isaiah 43, this and that man was born there on the ice himself. King Emperor Eli, King Selassie the first, shall establish her. Just shall count when he shall write up all his people that this king was born there, mighty King Sela.
Give thanks. Nice. All right. Thanks a lot, my brother.
Yes.
I just know you have to sit in here now.
So
we're going to play. Yeah, we're going to keep it here, man. All right. Very good.
this man, this time, glory and honor.
Yes. Brother Hightower says, very touching instrumental song, Windy. Brother Hightower is saying the instrumental that you blow. Very, very touching. We give thanks. And, right. So let us know, we want to hear one of Ajanoa's songs that will be on his album that will be launched on the 14th of August.
If it makes sense, we have to go on with it, you know. You are my one soul. Right now. Original with myself. Oh, people now. Freedom. Rasta people, freedom. African people, freedom. The original people, they can find your body, but they can control your mind. Don't fear your mind, don't people now who have been trapped by the demons of the beast. They are trying to destroy your mind and spirit, your heart and soul, your divine control. For let your body and destroy your world. They are waging all kind of warfare to distract and confuse your mind. Break them shackles, break them chains, if you can control your brain. Break them shackles, break them chains. They have no nation at your brain. Wake up, free your mind. Wake up, free your mind. If they control your mind, they can control your thoughts. If they control your thoughts, they can control your actions. Continue to play their base. After manipulation, the police, the people of the peace, pray, and the feel. Welcome up to reality. Wake up and feel your mind. Wake up to reality. Wake up and feel your mind. Wake up, wake up, wake up and feel your mind. Wake up, wake up, wake up and feel your mind. Every day, I'm doing shit, your mind, manipulation, the lies, and the propaganda. Sensitizing your mind for more lies and falsification. Good leaders and the institutions, we make up the world for more distractions. Confusing and mixing up your mind. Do you know what I look like? I say, it's mind control. And even when we functions, the man is still so wake up to reality. Wake up and free your mind. Wake up to reality. Wake up and free your mind. Wake up, wake up, wake up and free your mind. Wake up, wake up, wake up and free your mind. Wake up, wake up and free your mind.
Yeah, man, that's the title track on the album.
Yes, beloved.
Beautiful, beautiful. I like that sequence of thoughts, you know, where you said if they control your mind,
They will control you.
then they will control your thoughts. And if they control your thoughts, then they will control your action.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes,
Self-explanatory.
yes. The only thing I like when we identify the they. Yeah, I don't like leave it abstract.
Yeah, abstract.
Just kind of like
Speaking-
yes, enough man when they make the song.
Speaking in obscurity, but it's self-evident. You know?
No, because enough man make the song Babylon this and Babylon. But identify Babylon.
Babylon.
You know, who is it that, you know, in other words, it's not in the sky. The they do in the sky. The they are right here
And now.
seeking to control our, well, not seeking to control many of the African minds,
Absolutely.
and therefore control many of the African thoughts and control many of the African actions.
Absolutely.
So therefore now we want to advise those now who are listening that, you see, it's nice to say, throw off that colonial yoke. You understand what I mean? But here now we're going to identify who are these colonial yoke. You know, we want to, you know, those who have our mothers cleaning their floors at their homes and their offices and paying her a wage that she cannot even properly give lunch money for the children to go to school. Those are the people that we are saying that exploit our situation, that we need to throw them off us, you know, and make sure they stop controlling our people and exploiting the situation and so on.
Stephen Baker says the greatest weapon in the hands of the down presser is the mind of the down press.
Yes.
So that's where the war is. There are multiple battles that are being fought simultaneously, but one of the greatest war that is being fought right now is in the minds of our people. You know, through the miseducation, shitsim,
Yes.
and through the social media, television, everything. They deploy multiple weapons, you know, because, you know, it's those of chaos. They like to stage chaos. and confusion is out of chaos and confusion that, they create their level of order. It's a proven method that I've used over a period of time, and it works. It does work.
All right, reasonable. Yeah, man. All right. Let's play another one again. And what's other song now that on the album?
Free Up Fighter.
Free Up Fighter. Yeah, that was the first one I played.
Yes.
Some years ago. Well, not a year. A
few months.
Yes, months ago. Probably last year. Yeah. Yes, Free Up Fighters. Instead of saying freedom, you can free and dumb.
Dumb at the same time.
Right. So you're Free Up Fighters. Yeah. Yes. Go ahead there.
But the next food on foolishness. I'm tight. We don't want to make progress. We don't want to parasite. It's the my way. The black lives running on the pride of the poor and the sufferers. Oh, Jano, they my backstabbers. Jano, they my blood suckers. I can't get the vampire. Cause I'm a free up fighter. I am 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 fighting for what is right. Do not give up the fight. I am fighting for truth and rights. Full in a Jaja's side. Fight, we have to fight. Fight, we have to fight it out with mind. Fight, we have to fight. Fight, we keep out of the parasite. We are a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter.
Yes, powerful. The band sounds very good, man. Very tight.
Six piece.
Yes. Good band.
Everything live.
Yes. Very good. Good band you have there. And you had performed recently at the Juneteenth celebration in Atlanta.
Yes, at the Centennial Olympic Park.
Yes. How was it?
It was great. It rained all day, but we did a I'm feeling happy about it. The video will soon be uploaded to YouTube, so everyone can see the video. It's for the people, you know. Dr. Omar Johnson proceeded.
Omar Johnson, yes.
He spoke and then he introduced me on stage. It was an honor.
Beautiful.
It was
Beautiful.
great. It was great. Yes.
And the Juneteenth celebration now has become an official holiday.
It has been co-opted.
It has been co-opted by the system.
Yeah, just like
Black people celebrating it
from that time
years,
until this time. But in order for them to neutralize it, you know, they have to co-opt it. And now when they co-opt it, you know, a lot of our people feel like, oh, it has not been federalized. It's a public holiday. We can take off. We can celebrate. But now they can tell you what to do insofar as the observance and the high liberation of our struggle against them. Is what I'm saying. So it's just like they did with the Martin Luther King holiday. It's been co-opted.
Yes.
You know. So.
Yes. All right. And for our listeners to celebrate in June, what date in June again?
Well, it's the 19th. 1865.
1865.
Yeah.
And when we say 1865, it had to do with
Galveston, Texas.
In Galveston, Texas.
Yeah.
But it had to do mainly with the abolition.
So they say.
Yes, yes. Well, I don't say it yet, sarcastic. Yes, the abolition of the enslavement
of African
people in America.
In the Americas, yes.
1865.
Yes.
19th of June.
Yes.
But my understanding is that, and you can correct me, that the proclamation was signed about that time, 19th of June or thereabout.
No, it was signed 2 years before.
2 years before, right.
I think, you know, because I'm from here, I'm from the Rocks, and I'm learning about Juneteenth, you know, and I'm constantly learning, you know, all these things, you know, so, you know,
it was signed before,
years
but
before,
was not made known to the Africans
in the southern states.
In the southern states until
June.
Until Juneteenth,
1865.
as it were. 1865.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you imagine 2 years of more
Pretty
bondage
much,
when,
yeah,
you know?
Yes. And they actually...
A guy go have to pay for them.
I understand that the president at the time had to send in the federal troops to
enforce
it.
Yes, because the white people them down there felt that they were a law unto themselves.
Yeah, they are. Still is. The real power is in the states and the governors. You know. Well, this song right here, because of my personal experience with politics, this song is written against politics. If you listen to the lyrics of the song, it's self-explanatory.
That's the next one coming up.
No, the one you just played.
The one you just say, Free Up Fighters. Okay. Yeah. All right. Very, very good. And now the launching of the album, you said on the 14th of August in Atlanta.
Yes, it's been out.
So the band is going to be playing that day?
Yes. We're going to stream it live, so you're going to get a chance to see us.
Okay. So you're going to have a function in a hall?
Yeah, actually, there's a brother in Atlanta just like you. I'm going to big him up right now. And some of the people and the musicians in the band, I want to take this opportunity to say thanks to them.
Feel free.
Gratefully, I can call the name. Is brother Keith Slaughter. He used to be on CBS at the time. I think they changed ownership now. And 1380 is an AM talk station, and he's also a professor of theology at ITC Morehouse College campus. And he has a church. Actually, Martin Luther King started this movement, the Beloved Community, which they, benevolent, take care of the people, the poor, and the underprivileged and the oppressed. So he has a church named the Beloved Community of Atlanta. And I'm not really into religion like that, but he preached, African theology. He's in his church, he had read the RBG, the red, black, and green flag, and he said that he talked about the sweet black Jesus. So we get along pretty well, and I also work for him, because I have an automotive repair business, and I work for him, and he supports my business, and we share some of the same philosophies. Africa for the Africans at home and abroad. So that's where it's going to be at the Beloved Community Church of Atlanta on the 14th of August.
Beautiful. Like, go stream live and you let them know the link and everything.
Yes, everything will be.
We can advise and tell people.
I think we're gonna be doing some ads here and highway. Well, we're doing some on highway. We're doing some here on Best FM and a radio station, and we're gonna do a massive social media advertising as well, so the people can. Cause this work is for the people. You know, this work is for African people. You know, so I wanna at this time, if I may, just say thank you, beloved, for playing the music, and all the radio people in Atlanta and in Ghana, in Brazil, here in Jamaica, you brother, the people at Area FM who was seen fit to play this music, who want to say thanks, and especially to the musicians. You know, this is where we are right now, but this is not where it starts. It's a journey, you know, but this project is a very, very special project.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say thanks to the co-producer and the guitar player. You know, this project, Boomsai, Milton Boomy Green, we call him Boomsai, play guitar. Very skillful brother, electrical engineer by profession. You know, very dedicated, very serious about the music. It was recorded at his studio in Covington, Georgia. Actually, he's from St. Elizabeth. You know, a little district in St. Elizabeth named Porty. Yeah, I think I got it here. I want to pronounce it right, Boomy. I know you're watching. You know, I don't want to get in trouble. You know, see it right here, or you pronounce it? Porty. In St. Elizabeth, Hilltop district in St. Elizabeth. Porty, yes. Yes, and you know, some very skillful people plays my music director, and his name is Delroy Thomas. Used to play with the Grace Trillers, music director for Grace Trillers. He lives in Atlanta. You know, we got Ray Felix, who play bass for me, is from Dominica.
Okay.
Kenneth Bozeman is a brother from the States, Georgia. Music major. He's also play rhythm and lead and sing background. Kwame is from Clarendon, he play drums. And who am I missing? And the engineers, you know, the engineers is the famous David Rowe.
David Rowe.
Anybody listening in the music fraternity, the reggae fraternity, know David Rowe. David Rowe and Boomsai, who are engineers as well. You know, they record the project, David mixed it, and it was mastered here in Jamaica by one of the greats here in Jamaica, Chris Daly. You know, so yeah, there's a lot of people, and I hope I'm not. I don't know him. My cousin, who played drums for Bunny Wailer, Prince Manning, introduced me to these people. And I want to say thanks to Jadi, who I know is listening right now, the maestro up there at Builders Music at Cranston and Chartwood, and also brother Aisha Kamusa. He was the one that, you know, initially to you, yes. There's a lot of people, man. There's a lot of people who just want to say thanks, and it's great to say thanks.
Yes, sir.
And I hope I'm not leaving out anyone. If I did, insofar as the project, there's a brother that was the vocal coach and arranger for this project, Douglas Mack and his wife, you know, Julie, we call her Jojo. You know, there's some great people that work behind the scene.
So
when you see the product, but there's a lot of work.
You mean Dougie Mack, who went to Africa? Dougie Mack, who was on that one of those missions in Africa.
It's from Portland.
Oh, it's a different Dougie Mack.
Yes, he has
a
program that is on the social media platforms all over, named Real Reggae Entertainment Lifestyle. Okay. You know, that's Dougie Mack. Very good vocalists, very good musicians, very talented couple. You know, and they put the work in, you know, so we give thanks to them.
True.
Yeah, true indeed.
Nice. Well, we're going to seal up this part of the tradition now. We're glad you could make it actually here into the studio.
Yes.
We have spoken to you on the air more than once, and we really appreciate that.
Yes.
You are presently sojourning in Atlanta.
Yes.
Right.
It's a journey.
Yes.
And I'm actually here to lay my mom to rest. You know, she passed on the 1st.
Okay.
You know, so we're going to lay her to rest tomorrow in Stony Hill.
All right.
So
you have our blessings and our heart.
She just transitioned back into the spiritual realm.
Yes.
You know, so she here just watching with us, you know, as all the ancestors.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. All right, my brother. So gonna close off now. Which one, another song on the album that you want us to close off with?
I am several, but I'm gonna do the blood of my people.
All right, the blood of my people.
Yeah.
Yes.
time. Such a long, long time. I see the blood of my people. It's the lifeline. The substance of the day. They have been shedding the blood of my people. They are sucking the blood of my people. Oh, it's the nature of the days. Nature of the days. Shedding the blood of my people. Sucking the blood of my people. Shedding the blood of my people. Sucking the blood of my people. The blood of my people. The blood. The blood. The people. The blood. So you fight all kinds of weapons. They're using them to kill young people. Some of them was dangerous and then deadly weapons. I see W, chemical and biological weapons. Like hate and cola, weapons of genocide against our people. They're instigating strife and war among our people. Setting up the climate for the blood to run. The blood have to run for the face to face. Oh, it's the nature of the day. Nature of the day. Shedding the blood of my people. Sucking the blood of my people. Shedding the blood of my people. Sucking the blood of my people. The blood of my people. The blood. I find the blood. The of my people. The blood.
Yes, the human race must have been considered there as spontaneous, having been born in the upper areas of Ethiopia, where the two sources of life, heat and humidity, are ever present. It is also in this region that the first glimmerings of history reveal the origins of societies and the primitive home of civilization. In the earliest antiquity, before the ordinary calculations of history, a social organization appears, fully structured with its religion, laws, and institutions. The Ethiopians boasted of having been the first to establish the worship of the divinity and the use of sacrifices. There too, the torch of science and the arts was probably first lighted. To this people, we must attribute the origin of sculpture, the use of written symbols. In short, the start of all the developments that make up an advanced civilization. And I'm reading there from the book, The African Origin of Civilization.
Yes, indeed.
Myth or Reality. And it is written by Sheikh Anta Diop.
Antioch, yes.
One of the great writers.
Scholars, yes.
From Senegal.
Senegal, yes.
Yes. And he's showing you there that long before structured history came about, how the Ethiopians lived. And there's another part in the book here that tells you that this is why there's a big difference between the white man and the black man. We emerged in a civilization that was very kind to us. We could go out and pick our berries from the trees. We could go and pick mangoes. We could go and pick fruits.
Like you're in the Garden of Eden.
Yes, it was always kind to us.
Yes.
As compared to the white man now, emerging in a society where the conditions were always very hostile. Him, and him had to, so him had to be aggressive.
Nomadic.
Him had to be murderous.
Hunt
You know,
kill.
and consequence. So they are showing you. In other words, we had an atmosphere that was created
Conducive to our setting.
conducive to the formulation of laws and principles, to the overstanding of how to worship a divinity, how to structure castles, how to structure our places of worship. You can just imagine the meditation as compared to another man now where him always have to, I wonder who next for kill or which animal for kill, and it continues. So, Brother Ajano, I give thanks that you could come by, man.
If it's okay, I must stay with you, man.
Oh, yes, man. Yes. Yeah, man.
When I'm doing the work of African people, my people, I'm not in any age to do and to go nowhere. Everything in divine hand, divine time.
All right. No problem, man.
Yes,
no
Lord.
problem. We give thanks that you have
man.
agreed on that.
Yes, man.
And
We are in unison.
Natural.
Agreement according to the universal laws and principles.
Yes.
Sorry to hear about your mom and all
Yes.
that.
Yeah, she lived a good life.
Yes. No problem. Yes. Let's listen to this. Haiti, I'm sorry. Some more of these in the back. Okay. You got another one. You got about 3.
One day we turn our heads, restore your glory. Many hands reach out to St. George's, and that's still reaching out to those right and foolish men of Pretoria. We still scream and shout. We get together in song to steady the heart of America. But the Papa Lord come and the baby Lord go.
Right. One. Brother. One for you, one for Jerry, one for Louis, and you can give me a shower one too. Yes.
But one day we turn our heads and look inside you. Baby, I'm sorry. Hey, baby, I'm sorry. One day we turn our heads and restore your glory.
Yes.
parents, it's still Africa pride. We're rolling fires in faraway places when our neighbors are just burning. They say, if the passage is gone, so how come overcrowded roads still on our light? I refuse to believe that we the people will forever turn our hearts and our eyes away. Baby, I'm sorry. We misunderstood you.
Pardon? I didn't hear what you said a while ago. No, I didn't hear what you said a while ago. Yes. So hold the line, please.
Baby, I'm sorry. Baby, I'm sorry. One day we turn our heads.
Yes. There you have it. That's David Rhoda. There's also another version by the natives of that song. Beautiful. Greetings, Brother Hotep. I give thanks, my brother. Blessings and honor. We're glad to have you. You have prepared a beautiful chart for us. A lot of people don't see it yet, but if they want a copy, they can come down by 75 East Street and they will certainly get a copy. But those on YouTube can look at it, those on the social media. And just to tell you that, yes, we are on YouTube. You just look up Brother Miguel Lorne, Bitter Sugar, and you can communicate with us. Be part of what we're presenting here. This is a chart prepared by Brother Hotep. And Brother Hotep, a fantastic chart. And you have here, Ras Muhammad does not beat the children. That is the top there. That seems to be a habit in Jamaica of beating children. But you are advocating in this chart that Ubuntu parenting doesn't require the beating of children.
That is right.
Yes. Speak to us about that. Yes.
That's the far right. Jamaica has a little bit of an issue with violence, and the violence begins in the home.
Yes.
Right? The most violent happens in the home. So if we want to get a more peaceful society, then we have to admit that world peace begins in the Jamaican home.
Yes.
So that is why we say Ras Muhammad does not beat the children.
Yeah.
These are 7 powerful words that we receive from the Bowie mandate in Africa. And they tell us that before slavery, we used to reason in Africa on how to discipline our children in a peaceful and effective manner, using word, sound, power. As Rastafari would teach, word, sound, power. There are certain special words that you say to children. Say straight to their spirit, straight to their soul. One such word is Yashahid. You see, Yashahid parenting is what we used to talk about in Africa. Before slavery, we have this written in our African scriptures. We have this written in our African books. This is what we used to talk about, how to raise our children without violence and intimidation. We had a good time in Africa.
Yes.
Without beating our children, we had disciplined societies. Very peaceful societies, very productive, and very militant societies.
And I may add, in those societies that you describe, we had no whorehouses, we had no asylums, and we had no prisons.
I don't know about that because when it comes to the
Well, we didn't need that at the time. We didn't need that at the
I
time.
don't know about that.
Well, one of the things,
We needed it or didn't need it because within African culture, you have places for everybody. You have a place for the nymphomaniac. You know, there are some women that once you touch them, they have to give it to you. Just as long as you touch their elbow, then pass the pearl.
well,
There's a place for everybody.
yeah,
Civilized society.
you have here,
Not speak against whorehouses. I will not speak against anything like that. Gambling, anything. I don't speak against those things. Only thing we speak against is the violence that is meted out to our children. That is the only thing we speak against.
you have here, you have here Ubuntu.
Ubuntu means I am because we are.
Yes, that's what it means. I am because you are, or because we are.
Right. You know, so reality is that I am violent because we are violent.
Mhm.
So everybody in Jamaica that you see is a murderer. It's because we are murderers. The African does not exist in a vacuum. There is this song that says, no man is an island, no man stands alone. We are all one. We don't exist in a vacuum. If your brother is violent, it's because you're violent. Because we are violent. You see, that's Ubuntu.
I am because you are, or I am because we are. Mhm. Mhm, mhm.
So we learn how to embrace ourselves. So when you look at that document that you have,
Yes.
we go into Jamaican culture and we find within Jamaican culture certain important things that we have forgotten.
All right, let's start with Obia. I see you have here Obia. And and just to point out that on the books, in the law books, Obia is still illegal in Jamaica.
Yes.
Now you here, you have defined Obia, and you have spelled it different ways, and you have stated the meaning. So you want to repeat that for us?
Maybe I misspelled it because I want to spell it the right way. Because, you know, whatever way the government spell it, that's the way I want to spell it. But concerning the meaning, you know, it is wrong to give an African word an English definition. When you take an African word and you give it to an English person, they're going to defile that word. They're not going to define it, they're going to defile it. So a word like obia is a Hebrew compound word. You can look up on Google, OBE, and it will tell you OBE is servant of God. And then you look up Yah. Yah means Jah. It means Yahweh. It means the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So Obia, just like Elijah, just like Nehemiah, these are compound words within the Hebrew language. So obia is not an English word, and it is not right to ask the Englishman to define it. He will make mistakes.
Mhm, mhm.
So we were grown up. We were taught obia, how to be obedient to God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We were taught obia when we were children.
Mhm, mhm.
We learn all these things within our culture. If you go anywhere, you know they're talking about Jamaica. Just like if you go anywhere, you know they're talking about Jamaica. Obia is fined by the British.
Mhm.
English will give it a negative. Their dictionary, they would like black and associate negative things with black.
Yes.
Then when they write white, they're not associating the negative things that they should with the color white. They have a language problem. So we're not looking at obia as an English word
Mhm,
because it is an African word. You go to West Africa,
mhm.
King Yahweh. It in West Africa. We were speaking Hebrew all over the planet. Even in the Americas, we were speaking Hebrew. When they gave us English, the question is, what did they take from us? They took a language from us.
Yes.
They took many languages from us, not just one. Hebrew is one of those languages that they took from us. So that's where we get the definition for, oh yeah, we go to the Hebrew.
Tell me also, yeah, some time ago you had also produced some beautiful exercise books. And you had some drawings on the cover, and you were the one who had made those drawings. Right. And on the cover of the exercise book, you had some with the family. You know, you had some with the Garvey family and so on. And, you know, those who got some of those books, cherish them because it's not something that you use and put aside. You plan to bring back some of those exercise books in the near future?
You know, there are certain parts of the island that we have yet to reach.
Yeah.
So we'd like to reach every parish, every town, every city, and share the love. We say, Ras Muhammad spread black love among dogs. So definitely, we plan on making more because we plan on having more children. If you have children, don't you need books? You need books to send them to school. So we have children and we keep having children. So we need to keep making school supply. And it is good to see the black woman and her child on the cover of a book. And the best book for children to have is not a reading book, but a writing book. Let the children write their story.
You tend to homeschool your children.
Yes. Black Homeschool Academy. My children do go to school. Okay, we just supplement the quality education that we receive from our Jamaican government. Our Jamaican government provides us with the best teachers in the world. Let us forget about the curriculum just a little bit, because we are familiar and we're aware that all the curriculums just about across the world are Eurocentric. We know that. But the teachers themselves are black women. And you cannot get a better teacher than the black woman in life. So Jamaica hires black women to teach our children, original children. And you cannot put a price on that. For the black woman to teach your daughter, for the black woman to teach your son, for the black woman to sing in the light of authority. You cannot ever replace them. If you want to find out more about homeschooling and homeschooling resources and look at some of our curriculum, you can go to www.blackhomeschoolacademy.com and you can supplement the quality education that you are receiving from the black woman who has been employed by the Jamaican government. Our teachers are so phenomenal. These black women are called upon by the British government, by the English nation. England called our women to teach them English because our women are the best teachers in the world. We teach English.
Can imagine.
How good we are.
Yes.
So yes, we go by supplementing the quality education we already receive from our excellent government. And when I say our excellent government, I mean JFP, PSA, Marcus Garvey Political Party, People's Political Party, Shout Out to Hebrew, Ishaka Musa.
Song.
By
All of those
Ote.
are
Look it
our
up for me.
government.
Oh,
These are
a song.
Yeah.
Rastafari calls, I have been the honor over here. Jerusalem School, Zion. It is our government. All of these organizations and institutions run our country and run our culture. And culture is a greater teacher than academics.
Absolutely.
It's a greater teacher.
There was a bus stop in Mandeville that you had painted and decorated.
Yes.
It's still there? Yes. It's still there?
Yes. There was a bus stop in Mandeville.
Yes.
And we realized that there's this thing called advertising. And advertising is a way for you to share
Yes.
your ideas, share your thoughts, and sell a product. The product that we have to sell is the love for yourself and your kind.
Mm-hmm.
The love for the black woman and the love for her child. Kalanji sing a song, the black woman and child.
Yes.
For you I have so much love.
Yes.
Kalanji sing that song, black woman and child. So we made a poster.
Yes.
And we put that poster on a billboard above a bus stop. And it was the Black Madonna. So you could look at the black woman and her child. And there's another artist I wish to speak on. And the teacher, Vice Cartel, wrote a book called Voices of the Jamaican Ghetto, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And in that book, he speaks about where is the love for the black child. Could you go and make a billboard and don't put a black woman and a picture on it? You're driving around, you want to see the black woman and her children. And you want it to be the highest order.
Mm-hmm.
And the highest order that us, as original people, black people know, the highest order is Mary, which means love, Mary, and her child, Jesus, as Holy Emmanuel I teach us, Jesus. Some might say Isis, some might say Heru, some might want to say Yahshua. Whatever it is the mother and her child. And that is the greatest expression of love. And it is a divine love. So we put that divine picture to share the love of self-mankind with our nation, with our community. We are doing the work that Marcus Garvey did. We are doing the same work. When Marcus Garvey had parade, UNIA parade down Harlem, do you know the picture that was leading the parade? It was the Black Madonna. It was not Garvey's picture that was leading the UNIA. It was the Black Madonna.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we put that up there.
Beautiful. I remember it well. Definitely. Brother Hotep, I'm glad you could have joined us. And not only have you explained this poster that you have put out, but also going deeper and teaching us in regard to the Black Madonna and child, the Black Ubuntu. I am because we are. Yeah, man. So give thanks, my brother, and we'll certainly be keeping in touch with you. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely. Yes. As we continue, and I just know you want to give out some contact, some numbers, and how people can reach you and all of that.
Yes.
One second, brother. Yes. Yes. Brother, yes. Could you give us some numbers or some contacts that ones can reach you, brother? Okay. Mm-hmm. Irie, give thanks. Nice. Thanks a lot, my brother. And yes, and as we go along, as we go along, we will certainly be keeping in touch with you. And if anyone wants a copy of the poster which Brother Hotep has made, you can get a copy down at 75 East Street. Give thanks, my brother. Blessings and honor. Every time. Blessings.
What do you come to think of? You have to watch out for this. In time like this. Be an injustice on a preach. Holy man will I King Selassie I draw. Rastafari. The people never cry. They cry every day. Crying out for justice. Every day, they only say that they cry. They cry every day. Crying out for justice. Every day, they only say. Well, injustice are gone, and me see it clear. You know from when them promise to fix the street here. You tell me when we vote on it, win the seat here. From the wind, we not sing until the best sleep here. All we get is only cotton and reed here. I know that they are mad, end up in a wheelchair. My brother in a prison for 23 years. We are crying, never hold it, and it don't feel fear. We never cry. They're crying every day, crying out for justice. Every day, they want to say they're they're crying every day, crying out for justice. Every day, they want to say, 'cause it's a free world, free land, free speech, free earth, free man, free beach. I still heard. Feed one, feed each. Injustice, no for them a come preach. Have the poor now, then the Tories. Them say the best speech and give the Tories. The verse and give the poor peace. Then trap without the police, for police. Daddy ho, oh, oh, oh. Daddy ho, oh, oh. Daddy ho, daddy ho. Daddy ho, oh, oh, oh. Daddy ho. The people never cry, they're crying every day, crying out for justice. Every day, when we say they never cry. They're crying every day, crying out for justice. Every day, when we say we are crying every day, crying out for justice. Every day,
Nice.
we're crying every day, crying out for justice. Every day, when we say
Right. It's better. You never find the song, would you?
No.
All right. Get that brother, St. Vincent. St. Vincent.
Alright.
Every day, we say, we're crying every day. Crying out for justice every day. Oh,
yes, I. That's Ras Bogle there, echoing the sentiments of what is on the road as the people continue to seek justice. Now, we see what's happening in South Africa. We had spoken about it last week that, you know, you can't just take up Zuma son, throw him in a prison. There may be repercussion. And we see the repercussion. Because one must remember that Zuma, before he became head of the ANC and before he became the president of South Africa, during the days of apartheid, the apartheid system had locked him up for over 10 years. He was in prison at Robben Island with Nelson Mandela and them. So he has, you know, he's seen by many as a freedom fighter. And we see where now, since, although he has turned himself in, many of his followers. It started out there in KwaZulu and so on. It has now spread to the capitals, to Pretoria and Johannesburg and Alexandria and those places. And so far, they said 72 people have been killed. Over 1,000 people have been arrested. 1,234 persons have been arrested up to, I should say, this morning. And, you know, any life just, because it has carried over now, it seems to have gone beyond Zuma, locked up now. It has now gone to economics, where people are just fed up of the lockdown and the suffering that they're going through. It has also gone to COVID now, where people are saying that, you know, South Africa has had a lot of lockdown. It has had a lot of spurts, and, you know, as them come out of one, them have to go back in our next lockdown. So all that add to the frustration, and that's what is happening there now. So, but I'm hoping that, you know, some good sense will prevail, some reasoning will take place, and some give and take, because, you know, we'd really like this excessive looting. It may mean that there were some people who genuinely started out as protesters, but as we have seen so often, other elements utilize the crowd. And I see instances where an entire supermarket, you know, everything was taken. And many of them, in some cases, some plazas and all these things, what wasn't taken was smashed up. So, and it's right across, you know, if you look at South Africa, the map of South Africa, it's, if you look right across South Africa, let me map here, you will see Johannesburg up here. You see Johannesburg here? Yes. And then you have Cape Town way down here. And then you have Durban here. Port Elizabeth, East London. And then you have, you know, so the demonstration, the violence, the looting is all over South Africa, all over, and so on. Yes, I just know I saying agent provocateurs. Yes, absolutely. In continuing, yes, we have Ras Oba on the line. Greetings and blessings, Ras Oba.
Greetings and blessings, my brethren.
Yes, give thanks. You're talking to the people here in Jamaica. You're talking on Best FM, Best 100 FM.
And greetings and blessings to the people of Jamaica, brothers and sisters and ancients.
And you're calling from
Kingston, capital, Kingston, not Kingston.
Kingston. Yeah. That's the capital of St. Vincent, Kingston. Now, there is another name for St. Vincent. I think it was the Arawak name. What's that name?
There was one of the Carib names of Iruna.
Yes.
And there's another Carib named
Urami. So we have Iruna and Urami. Those were some original names of St. Vincent.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, Brother Oba, make we start with the volcano. We saw pictures of a volcano. We saw persons' lives being altered. They had to move and so on. And overall, it appeared to me that the people themselves managed that volcano situation quite well. But we are on the outside, you're on the inside. Would you agree with that sentiment, that the people manage it quite well?
Yeah, I would agree with that sentiment, right?
Yes.
We got some very solid information, I think, the day before the eruption from the scientist, Dr. Rich Robertson from Trinidad.
Yes.
And I think the people moved within the nick of time. I think about after the people who started evacuating,
Mm-hmm.
we had the first blast from the super. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have everybody evacuated to close to the Kingston area.
Yes.
And the Rastafari community, we formed the Rastafari Relief Committee
Mm-hmm.
under the auspices of the Nubian Flower to take care of the Rastafari evacuees in the shelters, because there's a nutritional diet difference.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a tremendous amount of assistance from ICA of St. Lucia.
Mm-hmm.
We had a boat come from St. Lucia with supplies. We also had boats coming from Martinique and Guadeloupe. We got assistance from the brother and sister in Dominica, Antigua, Grenada, Trinidad, and we even got some assistance from the Rastafari community in England.
Mm-hmm.
So we were able to administer to our own people, and we also didn't turn away anyone who came to us for assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we handled that the initial stages very well.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we are in a recovery stage of trying to get people started back up with their farms. Some people who had like bakery damage, and we're working on that process right now. And we're still getting a lot of help from the Rastafari community at large.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. What else would you need at this time? So as if any of our listeners want to do something, what else can, say, people from Jamaica do?
Well, I say in recovery, for one thing, seeds, agricultural seeds. I myself, I'm a farmer, and I'm looking into trying to propagate the Jamaican Kolu in St. Vincent, because I know it's a very tropical food, and we have it here, but not in an organized, domesticated fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking into that. I've already got some seeds from there. I'm also got some Scotch bonnet, but farming equipment at this point in time, seeds for one for sure, which is a major need right now to try to develop our recovery process.
Mm-hmm. Seeds would do well. And I guess some herb seed, ganja seeds would do well too.
Well, of course, if you have any of your land raised seeds still at hand,
Yes.
because we've lost all our land raised seeds due to the new influx of the 3-month feminized seeds that are now being distributed by the foreign direct investors.
Distributed by the foreign direct investors? So what?
Yeah, well,
You have foreign investors coming into St. Vincent when it comes on to ganja?
Well, St. Vincent passed a medical cannabis. It was decriminalized. Medical cannabis was decriminalized in St. Vincent about 2 years ago.
Yes.
But I was diametrically opposed to that in all its forms.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could see where it was meant to disenfranchise the traditional growers
Mm-hmm.
and empower the foreign direct investors and some local businessmen. Which that after 2 years of it being decriminalized, that's a trend because the local farmers
Yes.
are still growing in the black and illegally, but the foreign direct investors, they have the means to transport regionally. So that black market that was there for the local traditional farmers, it's now taken over by certain local businessmen who have the means to get it to Barbados.
You mean of the boats and all of them thing there? The yacht.
They control the boats.
Mm-hmm.
They got names, and they also control the kind of hotel industry. So they deal directly with the tourist population who would be in need of that,
Okay.
We also have a critical problem with the United States and Canada dumping on us, because right now there seems to be a lot of cannabis not produced in St. Vincent, produced in the United States and Canada, that's being sold at very high prices, and the youth seem to be going for it because the potency, I think, is up to like 25% THC.
So hold on now. Them gradually killing out because St. Vincent had a very lively ganja industry.
It was very good. I think we were right up there, second to Jamaica,
Right. Yes.
And qualities and so on, right?
Yes, and you used to supply Martinique, Guadeloupe, Barbados, and those countries.
Right up to the Virgin Islands.
Right. You were supplying a lot of people and so on. But what you're saying to me now is that ganja is now being imported into St. Vincent from Canada and America?
It's not coming in. It's not legally imported, but it's coming.
Whether legal or illegal, it's coming in.
It's coming in, of course. And like, for instance,
Yes.
for a pound of cannabis that you pay maybe anywhere from $1,600 to $2,000 US, right?
Mhm.
If you get that in St. Vincent right now, it sells at $60 a gram. And when you do the math on that, that's 1,400 EC a pound. I mean, an ounce.
Yes.
So you multiply that ounce by 60, that's close to $20-some thousand EC per pound. So you actually can make more money from cannabis produced in America and Canada right now in St. Vincent. It's not just in Vincent. I think it's original in Barbados. It's another been to Barbados within a year ago. They have some Jamaican cannabis and they have the exotic, and that's it. You know, our weed is not being able to move around like it did. What has happened under this administration in St. Vincent?
No, but hold on, brother Rasoba. It's strange. Before some sort of a freeing up take place, like you said, no, it has been for medicinal and sacramental purposes too.
They also have sacramental purpose, right?
Yes.
To the Nyabingi order. But it was refused because there were a couple of brethren from the Nyabingi who happened to be on the select committee. And for some reason, they refused the sacramental purpose. Right? It wasn't clear why.
Yes. But you are now saying that it was easier then, before there was some sort of a freeing up. It was easier then to move your herbs around the islands than it is now.
No, of course, because like the reason why I'm saying I accuse the government of being disingenuous.
Yes.
Because we were lobbying and to decriminalize the medical, we wanted them also to decriminalize or legalize for recreational.
Yes.
They refused to decriminalize for recreation because they got some pushback from the Christian Council, right? And so you could have up to 2 ounces of weed in your intervention. But as far as moving around the region, it's very difficult for the traditional growers because it's almost like a blockade of coast guard, right? And security. So to get it from island to island, we use like speedboats. It's very difficult to get off the island to do that. But the foreign direct investors and local businessmen who are legalizing the industry, they have the capabilities to make that happen.
Now, when our listeners hear you say the foreign investors and so on, who are, these are persons who have applied to the government for a license, is that so?
Yeah, these are people who applied and they have licenses.
And they have paid the requisite fees and all of that.
They have paid the requisite fees, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I think there are 100 local traditional farmers who have also got license, and it's only like $100 fee for 2 years.
For 2 years, hold on, for who? For which set of people?
For the traditional farmers.
For the traditional, and Rastafari would fall into the traditional farmers group.
Yes, Rastafari would fall into that, right?
And you pay $100, and for a
2-year license.
For a 2-year license. I see. $100 for a 2-year license. And you're saying about 100 brothers sisters, 100 persons have gotten license. Rastafari.
Because we're not working as a collective.
Yes.
It's very difficult to really achieve much from that, right? So it's in the foreign direct investors and the local business people who have the means to move it around. The Caribbean, like used to happen before, they're also looking to take over the local market because they have a couple of pharmacies set up in St. Vincent presently that are even up to rolling joints and selling at the dispensaries.
So, well, on the one hand, you sound more progressive than Jamaica. Because when you're saying that they recognize what farmers you call them? What do you use? The traditional farmers. Traditional farmers. Traditional farmers are recognized, and they don't pay the same fee as the outside.
No, it's a lot different. Our fees are minimum as compared to the foreign direct investors.
Okay. Yes.
But you could produce, but the market, it's been shrunk and you as the means of getting it around, right?
Okay.
Now a traditional farmer could sell to one of the foreign direct investors, right? And I think the amount they're willing to pay $50 US a pound from the traditional farmer if it meets the standards that they're looking for. Which is not very progressive.
Well, all right, but at least the traditional farmer, put it this way, when he's classified as a traditional farmer and he pays his minimum license fee of $100, he can then now start to plant and grow ganja, right?
Yes, he could produce ganja, he could do byproducts, and
from ganja, byproducts from ganja.
Yeah.
Yes, but him can't legally export any.
Well, no, illegally, that is the problem. I think the government has acknowledged no one is actually legally exporting at this point. Because they talk about I think there's some UN ship riders agreement in the UN. They use some excuse that they're supposed to be working that situation out, right? But I know personally that cannabis is moving around by some local businessmen. Because they have the means, they control the hotels. You see what I'm saying? So they can sell to the tourists.
Yes.
They can get it to Mani, God, the regions that the traditional farmers usually export it to.
And for those listening us, because the Jamaicans do know how close some of these islands are to one another, and that in a lot of these islands, people have family in other islands, and so on. You have people in St. Lucia have family working and living in Martinique, Guadeloupe, Dominica, and so on.
You could actually see St. Lucia from St. Vincent. St. Lucia is 40 miles away from St. Vincent.
30 miles. 40 miles. Yes, okay.
Trinidad is about 200 miles away. That's to the south.
Yes.
Barbados is 100 miles to the east. And you have Grenada, which is like about 60 miles to the south.
So you have a nice yacht you can move around.
Well, that's the thing. The thing is, yacht people don't get checked the same way as people, see?
Yes.
So that is one of the angles to moving around. If you on a yacht, it looks like you're just doing the regular tourist thing,
Yes.
But the speedboat is a natural attraction for the coast guard.
Oh, the speedboat. I see.
Yeah. Go fast with all
The go fast. All right. But you all are continuing the struggle there then. You all are continuing the campaign for a more equitable,
Very
yes.
much so. Very
Yeah.
much so.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right now, St. Vincent is in a state of protest action, you know.
Yes.
So there's going to be protests tomorrow against social justice. You know, there's a lot of stuff happening in the courts that is very biased towards local people. You know, and we had a situation where we had a senator who's also the deputy speaker of the house,
Mm-hmm.
and the DPP who went into an individual's yard and beat him up and shot him in the leg. And it took 3 months before they finally brought charges against those two individuals. Even after that action took place, the senator was still allowed to go in the house and be part of the parliament. And the opposition tried to put up a lot of resistance towards her being there. And he ended up getting thrown out of the house.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff happening
In St. Vincent.
politically.
Yes.
That's unjust and very much corrupt.
Yes. When you and I spoke in one of our reasoning about 20, 30 years ago, I know you were strong politically minded. I know you stand dreadlocks Rasta, and you were strong.
Well, I tell you,
Uh-huh.
I am for regime change.
Yes.
I'm for regime change, right?
Yes.
So I take my stand within the ranks of the opposition. But I'm not, say, a member of any party.
Yes.
But as a social activist, I have to take my stand, right?
Yes.
Because there's a lot of things that are going on in the country that are not beneficial to the local population at all.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So you're a social activist, and who knows, you might build from there.
Well, we are building.
Yes.
We are building because, look, they're still locking up people for cannabis, you know.
Yes. See him here in Jamaica, still locking up people.
Yeah. And look, if you notice in Canada and the United States, to show goodwill,
Yes.
one of the first things you do when you decriminalize in any form, you also expunge the records of people with small amounts.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
There's paid lip service to that, but there's no initiative of doing that.
Oh,
And
I see. In Jamaica, they have started to expunge for small amounts. That has actually started, but it's a tedious and long process. 2 years in many instances, very tedious and long, and waste a lot of time. But they have started. They have in fact expunged some for small amounts because they realized the harm it was doing. Some people couldn't get passports, some people couldn't get visas, some people couldn't take up their scholarships to universities and all of these things. So that has started to change. But and like I said, they're still locking up people here, you know. So you have your work cut out there, we have our work cut out here, but we want to keep in touch so that we can together confront them and let them know that, you know, yes. Go ahead.
We definitely have to get more grounded and united.
Yes.
Well, I know of your work that you did in St. Lucia, where you practice there, right?
Yes.
But for islands being so close, I think it's taken us a very long time
Yes.
to really manifest the unity that we speak about.
Yes.
See, so I'm thinking in terms of agriculture, we know agriculture is the driving force in Jamaica and most of the islands.
In Jamaica too,
Why
yes.
It's taken us so long to figure out to say we could start a Madagascar agriculture brigade where we could exchange from within the Rastafari community. We could have a group of brethren come to Jamaica and find out your farm practice. We could exchange right to the Caribbean, which would be a method of bringing us more closer, making us become more united in a practical sense, you know?
Yes, absolutely. And you have mentioned the callaloo seeds, you know, Scotch bonnet.
A
Kale, yes, yes,
Kale.
yes,
It's not a tropical product. It's more temperate, right?
yes,
It grows better where there's cold. But in St. Vincent, the coral seeds would be an ideal base for our green juices.
yes. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so that now those who are listening, and I know quite a number of people are listening, and I know some people who are in touch with our brothers and sisters in St. Vincent. So let us start with some Scotch bonnet pepper and some callaloo seeds.
Definitely.
Yes, and I know you could do well with some.
Agriculture is the way forward. Agriculture
Yes,
is the way forward.
and I know you could do well with some sorrel seeds too, eh?
Of course, of course. I think you have the white soil also, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Definitely. Soil are very indigenous crops in St. Vincent.
yes.
But we have mostly the red ones.
Yeah, we have most of the red one, but a few people have the white one, and so on. Nice. Rassoba, I'm glad. Yes, sorry, my brother. Go ahead.
Well, I've distributed, what we did, we've been propagating a lot of Jamaican happy seeds in.
Yes.
And I distributed over 200 happy plants.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So there's a big move here to distribute appies. I myself presently have 3 apple trees in my yard that's bearing.
Yes. Aye. Very good. Very, very good. Very, very good, Rassoba. Nice. So what? We could send down some seeds for you?
Well, the apple seeds.
Yes.
Well, I think there's 2 kinds of appies. There's one they call the pepper something.
Yes.
What I noticed when I use the appies, some become really scrambled, like if you scramble eggs, right?
Yes.
And they become soft.
Yeah.
And there's another strain
Yes.
that stays harder.
Yes.
It doesn't crumble as much.
So you'd prefer that one?
Of course, of course.
All right. All right. Not a problem here. Not a problem here.
And we have quite a few Jamaicans living in BC, and they're not coming back.
Is it a situation where some of the brothers them find wives down there?
Say that again?
Is it a situation where some of the brothers have found wives in St. Vincent because you have some beautiful queens?
Yeah, well, and vice versa.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. Yes. Nice. My brother and friend Rassoba, I give thanks to brother, and we're going to be certainly keeping in touch with you with our St. Vincent situation.
Definitely. And I give thanks to the guys for keeping up the struggle.
Yes.
And I know that on the international and regional level, that there's a lot of work going on. Although sometimes it doesn't seem to manifest itself publicly, but I know there's a lot of work going on. I give thanks to you for staying within the struggle.
I give thanks, my brother, and we'll stay black.
All right, one black love.
Every time.
Respect.
Natural. This is it. That's a very militant brother there, Rassoba, in St. Vincent. And those brothers are working very hard.
We have to connect the dots, man.
Yes, yes.
We all we got, so.
Yes.
And we are all we need.
Yes. You see, there was a time when I used to travel to all of these islands. St. Vincent, Trinidad, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Martin, Dominica. Some of these islands were like my second home.
Yeah.
You know, I could just land.
Yeah.
Once I reach, and a man here somebody at the airport. Yeah, man.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yes.
It's like family.
And this was during the time when they were putting back Rasta on planes, you know.
Okay.
Yes, this was a time. And so there are many places I went where they were about to put on the plane.
Virgin name is Iman. Oh, a touchdown from Jamdo.
Yeah, which one it is now?
Air Jamaica. It was Air Jamaica.
Or the pilot.
No, your Jamaica doesn't go to many of these islands. Your Jamaica would go down and go to Barbados. Because the size of the airport down that area known as Uanora airport. So Air Jamaica for a time landed there. But what you do now when you go to some of the islands like Barbados, Trinidad, and St. Lucia to some extent, they had bigger airports with the bigger. So the Air Jamaica and the BWI could land there. St. Martin has a big airport too. So. But what you would mainly take now was the Layat airline. These were some...
I remember them.
Yes.
Are they still in business?
Yes, they're still in business. They would carry, each of those planes would carry about 35 people.
That's the one with the prop, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
With the props. And so you move around the islands in
up in island.
yes, in these planes. But also in some of the islands now you have boat travel, where you could actually take a boat from St. Lucia to Guadeloupe to Martinique. The French islands had a very good boat system.
Okay.
Good, nice boat. Beautiful, posh inside boat, comfortable.
Nice.
The French islands had a couple of those. So when you're moving within Martinique, Guadeloupe, Marie-Galante, and the St. Martin, you could take the boat.
Yes.
And it also went to St. Lucia, Dominica, you could also take the boats. And
My bass player is from Dominica. My bass player is from Dominica.
It's from oh, you must travel the islands.
Yeah, he's telling me that is a little island with the most rivers.
Yes, a lot of rivers.
It's really nice. The other day they had a hurricane that just kind of wiped it out, but it's
coming back now. Yes.
Yeah.
So you would find that the boats took you around a lot. Interestingly, I remember I was on a boat traveling from St. Lucia to Martinique. And I sat at the back of the boat looking at the waters. And one of the workers on the boat came and sat beside me. And he says, he told me that when we reach a certain point in going across, I'm going to see the sharks.
Oh.
And I said, I don't mind sharks. But he said it, meaning I'm going to see a lot of sharks.
Yes.
A lot of sharks.
Supposed to be scared.
No, I didn't say it for scared.
No,
No,
I'm just thinking.
no, I wasn't for scared. But a very serious point I want to make.
Yeah.
And when we reach a certain point for true, I saw a lot of sharks following the boat. He said to me that these sharks are accustomed from the days of the enslavement.
I was going to feel that coming.
And because they know
I felt that coming.
that Africans would be thrown overboard.
I felt that coming.
So they had food coming.
Yes, I felt
Now, brothers and sisters, this is hundreds of years ago,
It's over 300.
you know, but the genetics of the shark
Yes,
is
indeed.
that they still. And when
It's in their memory.
So when
It's
he
in their
told
memory.
me that, and then when I saw that now, the amount of sharks at a certain point following the boat until when we were near to land, they disappeared.
Yeah.
And he says to me, it's because of the traditional
slave trade.
that they expect food to be thrown overboard, and that food was iron.
Yeah.
So very interesting.
It is.
Very,
It's
very
a journey.
interesting. Yeah, man.
It's
move
a
along.
journey of African people.
Yes.
And we are survivors and we are still here.
Yes, but I want to look more. Yes, not to be surviving anymore, but to rule now. We must.
It's secret. You know, with all the invasion of the continent and the ravaging and pillaging the continent right now, it's cyclical. What goes around comes around.
Yes.
You know.
I don't know if I get an impatient.
I'm very confident that African people is gonna wake up in my lifetime.
The axe of grind
Slowly.
but when it crush everything, crush really fine.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No
I'm
more
very
crush.
confident that my people is gonna wake up lifetime.
Well, I look forward to that. Yes. Well, as we move along now, that's Russ Ober in St. Vincent, and he also gave us the names of what the Caribs used to call the country.
That would have been
Yes. Well, he just told us and so on. We also watch a little sports sometimes, so you know, West Indies and Australia. I don't know if there was a match today, but I know 3 matches gone so far, and West Indies have beaten Australia in all 3 in the 20-over situation. So it looks like it's going to be a 5-match series in 20 overs. So it looked like we can get Australia like a 5-love, you know, which is usually rare. Our athletes are warming up in track meets in Europe, especially the girls, doing very, very well. Sharika Jackson, Shelley and Price and Thompson, Heru, all doing very, very well, and others. Don't know the man, them need to step up to the plate, but let's hope within a couple of weeks they'll do better. Yes, well, you're ungrateful. You're ungrateful. You know? And that is what has happening to you and Blake.
Okay.
Yes. It was expected that when Bolt retired, England just automatically be the man.
Elevate, yeah.
You know, but I'm grateful.
Something.
No, we don't want, because I was criticizing and blaming the coach and all them things. And even Bolt had to come out and say, a man coach you and you run 2 seconds. You run the 2 fastest time, the second fastest time in the world in the 100 meters and the 200 meters. You get 2 silver medals and you cost that, man. You cost that. I'm grateful, man. Yes. Yeah, man. You don't do that. Even if you have a problem, you know, give thanks because
give thanks.
You get 2 silver medals, but the second fastest time in the world is you in both the 100 and 200. No care where you and that coach have. No more something good the coach do for you for make you reach. Because him don't reach him level again, you know. Him no run them times again, you know. The 9.6 and the 19.2. Him no run near them time, you know. The other trials him barely run 10 seconds. You must be ungrateful. I think that is what is reaching you on.
When they reach a certain, and that goes even in the music, when they reach a certain level, they take on this false persona of celebrityship.
Yes.
And they don't want to practice no more. They don't want to train. They don't remember what they did to
get
where
there.
they are. So it's all about, you know, I got a song on here, but probably we need to play Papi Show Mascot.
Papi Show, man. We can play a more.
Yeah.
In going down the sports line now, we can't help but mention Omar McLeod. Him go to England now and go and tell them, say, it's rob. We the Jamaican people rob him. The man, there are trials. Yeah. The man run last in the trials. You understand? According to the rules, you have to be in the top 3 to represent the country. Yes. Him run last. Yet him want them find a way for put him in.
Of course.
You know, the man sick. Then he goes and says, them rob him. You know, you don't use the language, the man, and thing. And, you know, and nobody start to find all sort of fault. The timing was bad. Then if it's bad, it's a bad for everybody. It's not the same feel.
Excuse.
Yes,
man.
but yes.
Casting blame, not taking responsibility.
Yes. You know, he's the defending champion in the Olympic 110 meters hurdles, and he's a good hurdler and he's a good runner. Yeah. And him would do well in the Olympics, I think. You know, I think he would get a medal. Okay. You know, but you could go there. That's the thing with the hurdles. You hit one hurdle and it throw you off completely. Difficult to come back. So the concentration for the hurdles is very high. You got to focus on concentrating going over each hurdles. You know. We also want to congratulate Stephanie Taylor, the captain of the West Indies women's cricket team. They are doing very well against Pakistan in the 5-match series, the 1-day series. They have already won 3 out of 5. So you got them out to give Pakistan a little blackwash. But I want to congratulate specifically Stephanie Taylor now. She has now risen to the level of being the number 1 woman, number 1 batter in the world at the moment. She's the number 1 batter in the world. And she is the number 1 all-rounder in the world at the moment.
Bats lady.
Yes.
An all-rounder.
In the bowling department, I think she's about 14 in the world. So she's a captain of the team, so it's good.
It's great.
It's good that she's...
Congratulations, my lady.
Yes, yes. Now, serious business now, we see where the Jamaica played Suriname a couple of days ago. They won 2-0, but I wasn't impressed. I don't like the standard I saw at all. I expect a much better standard from our footballers. So, but make I watch it like that was their first match.
Yes, yeah.
And many of them were playing an international match for the first time together.
Yeah.
So, because see what happened in this. It could have easily put away this match from early. They had the chances. They shouldn't have scored less than 5.
Okay.
You know,
5.
in my yes, easily. Yes. Now, but the standard of our football, local football, have to rise. Standard low, man. Very low. But like I said, probably the rust. So make us watch it little, but the present what I'm seeing. Oh. And the referees have to be much firmer. Much, much firmer. Blatant kick down. Or a man get a little touch him, lay down and hold him head, hold him foot, all when him not get licked this one. You know, the referee have to warn him and say, look, man, get up and think. You know, so. Also, I've noticed quite a lot of foul throws, which are not blown. Yes. You know, there's a certain way to throw in the ball to get it going again. So, you know, but the referees got to be firm. And you say, if this cleanup business where some of the defenders carry out, because of that now, the ball players can't carry the ball and play ball and distribute ball because I'm afraid some man going broke him foot. You understand? So the referees have to protect the ball players for them, their skill and their talent to develop. Because we want to see people dribble with the ball, beat a man, score a goal, you know. We want people to hold the ball and carry the ball and so on. But that won't happen in this present atmosphere because people are kicking down people and the ref not firm enough for them. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know, you have any number or any social media thing that you want to express to the people?
I have a website where they can get the CD to buy.
Yes.
And it's www. I'm going to spell it. IJAHKNOWAHAN, not AND.
Go slow, no, go slow.
AN.
People are writing.
Yes. IJAHKNOWAH and AN BRAP, BRAP.com. There's no space, it's one word.
Okay.
Ijanoa and BRAP is one word.
Okay, Ijanoa BRAP.
No, and AN Patwa. AN BRAP, BRAP.com.
Okay.
And when you go to Ijanoa and BRAP.com, it will take you to all the social media pages, our platforms, and vice versa. That's IJAHKNOWAH and ANBRAP.com.
So ones can reach you.
Yes, Ijanoa and BRAP.
.com.
Ijanoa and BRAP.com. All the information is there, bio, everything is there. You can purchase a CD there. You can like, you can, make comments, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. It's all there.
Continue.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Well, let's look a little of Janine and hear what she has to say now.
And I find myself in a high one, the whole heap of folly to take place. See, the reality is most decisions in higher education have been done through massive element, which we know say is transit.
Yeah, just want to say it's not Knife talking on the radio. You're actually hearing the recording on the CD where Knife is talking. As you all know, Knife does a program on Thursdays on this station, Thursday afternoon. Very, very good program, very informative, you learn a lot. But this is actually part of the record that he's talking now before Janine comes in. But very good program. Also, I must congratulate Louis Moiston. He does some very, very good programs in the mornings. You should try to take in these programs. You learn quite a bit. Then Jerry comes in after Louis, and Jerry does well, very well. You know, he wades through the fire. That's how I would describe Jerry's program. He makes sure move through the fire. And then in the afternoon, we now have Barry G. Barry G from 2 to 5 on this station. So the station is growing, and we want you, the people, to grow with us. Give thanks.
And I find and I self in a high one a whole heap of fight take place. See? And the reality is most decisions in Irish are through massive elements. But you know, say it's transient and temporary. It's no surprise that if I know, say, female sisters, we know have the strongest feminine element rising in a very serious way. I don't know what earth in terms of species in danger. Because the species survive to the feminine element will rise. Some of want a sister who find themselves extremely energized. It's natural. One must use that as an awareness of one's role this time because it can't work no other way. I tell you,
you find the chart plus one last week, right?
Any other way. And I
don't really want to be a politician.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. Can you look it up again for me?
Manifest the energy of the nanny, of the maroon, you know, the segment from out of Kemet, you know, the Shiva from out of India. You know, we can go on and represent the Empress Naya Dingi. The Empress has manifested himself in so many different forms, in so many disguises. Which I don't know that the lion is the one who really protect the pride. So the I have to really protect INI species in this time, you know.
I think it continues, yeah.
Each a boy touching on the bubbling like the drum dread. Top destruction, no be no sure say I no big one willing to stick a head for the fence. Sisters are afraid to make an example of a guy or a woman, but them not taboo whatever they have to try. The future is dependent on the youth when we have been. This is this is not a
yes, let me. Get him picking up the
lioness order. Cause this is warfare. This is not
all right. Yes, that seems to have a little bringing that level of ancient Kemetic vibrations to us in helping us to understand how we move through that
sonic frequency.
Yes, through Africa and that cosmic energy that always does. Nice. The next person we're gonna have on the program is Brother Frankai from Antigua. And I'm moving around the islands because the islands now, in a lot of instances, have fly past Jamaica. One time gone, they would take the lead from Jamaica, but then realize that we have had some government are so backward, they don't realize the value that they have within the culture and the spirit of Rastafari.
Yeah.
Brother Frankie, greetings and blessings.
Blessings, my Lord. Yes, I.
Yes.
Yes, Brother Miguel.
Yeah, man.
With it in Jamaica.
Give thanks, and we had you a few weeks ago and all of that, but we need to have you in Jamaica. You are well, you used to live here, but it's more than that. You if you don't tell people that you didn't born here, they... Yes. Yes, so on. And we should let our listeners know you are also the...
I've been appointed as the Ethiopia, which at these times, as we know, is in a very... During the present turmoil that is going on there, you know.
Yes.
The Tigray rebels who, in certain other contexts, these type of groups would be considered as, not revolutionary, but, you know, what you call them, and would be, you know, cast aside by the general international atmosphere, but they've been supported by some of the elements that would have been against similar elements in other situations.
Who seem to be hell-bent on trying to divide up Ethiopia?
Very much so. This is the point. So, and at a time when Ethiopia is really looking to
progress, develop, grow.
Develop situation, you know.
Yes.
The situation of the dam, you know, which is quite an extensive project.
Yes.
And looking to really foster development, not only in Ethiopia, but in that entire North.
Electricity.
This is the point, you know. They'll be able to export electricity to the benefit of those other neighboring countries, Sudan and Egypt, etc. You know, so
but
this time it's a very crucial time.
In Antigua, but in the Eastern Caribbean, you are referred to as King Frankie.
Well, yes, this has been a name that I have been given more in my journalistic
yes.
times that I was in journalism here in Antigua.
Yes.
You know, in radio commentary, in sports, and general affairs, generally in Antigua and the Eastern Caribbean, really, you know.
You are referred to.
A lot of commentating all around the Caribbean, including Jamaica, Trinidad, Guyana, etc. Following the Leeward Islands team in the first class competition and even the West Indies team also too, you know.
Yes.
So that was another aspect of my work in the Eastern Caribbean here, yes.
Yes. A great friend of people like Viv.
He really is a young prime minister. You know, he's not yet attained the age of 60, he's still just past 50. And as such, in those 70s, he grew up really in the lower class districts of Antigua and Barbuda, in the Great Palm Point, you know, districts, and had been very close with the Rastafari groups in Antigua and in St. John's generally. To say that he was of a single parent family and his mother had gone through, you know, a very trying circumstances, you know, mentally, etc. So that he was very much, even as a youngster, you know, very minded towards, you know, looking after his siblings, etc. And had been very close with the Rastafari brethren in the district at the time. It was a time when we had established what we call the idol shack, you know, cooking and selling idol, etc. And he was being one of the youth around at the age of 9, 10, 11, 12, you know, early teens, and even before that, who would have been in the ghetto and would have been associated with actually the legislation that had been passed in 2018 as the ganja law, you call it that, the cannabis law.
Mm-hmm.
And it pertained to medicinal usage, allowing medicinal enterprise with cannabis, and also acknowledging the sacramental usage by Rastafari.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for also too that we had a case in the OECS Supreme Court where we were challenging the constitutionality of the laws prohibiting the use of cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
And Book Justice Benjamin, who I think is now Chief Justice in Belize,
Oh,
had made the distinction. You know, the case was put by a lawyer, Harold Lovely here, but he was assisted by Lord Gifford, of course, Anthony Gifford.
Mm-hmm.
And we have seen what we call testimony from the dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences at the time, Dr. Barry Chevans, and another doctor there from Jamaica who had done research in cannabis, etc. So that whereas Justice Benjamin said that the jury is still out on the use of cannabis generally, he acknowledged the fact that Rastafari does use it as sacrament and should be given some sort of relief within that aspect, but he related to at the feet of the legislature, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Subsequently to that now, and just a year or two ago, a brethren in St. Kitts, Brother Sankofa, had also brought similar constitutional motion to the very same OECS Supreme Court because it's general throughout the entire Eastern Caribbean here, the OECS Supreme, and the Justice and others who have been in looking at, you know, amendments to legislation, etc. They have made presentations to the CND, the Commission on Narcotics Drugs in Geneva, and certain amounts of reviews or tweakings have been done at the WHO level, so that I think currently has been taken off of the classification that it had originally, which suggested that it had no medicinal value, and it has been put into different categories, so to speak. Although that is still something in progress. And still being examined at that level of the United Nations. And so on. In our legislation here, there was also a regulatory body, a cannabis licensing authority that has been established with representatives from Rastafari also, and the pharmaceutical, the legal situations, the PMO, the Chief Medical Officer, certain police officials also on that licensing authority. And in a real sense, one who don't really have a real idea of the history of illegalization, which actually no purpose just declared illegal just about 100 years ago, through the machinations of someone in America, and not because of any altruistic motives about, you know, the effect on people out there, but
psychological, medicinal, yes.
That produced the legislation against her, you know, and prohibiting its usage.
Mm-hmm.
Where many thought that the legislation, the prohibition in America and the drug war have been directed against minorities, you know, the Mexican minorities, etc. And the black minorities also too.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
This was the whole thinking of many of us in the whole question of lobbying for legalization. Yes, definitely. Through managing the community centers, which would be Rat Freeman and Big Creek, the two, and you know, the two communities have gotten authority also too, and have registered a company called the Rastafari Food for Life, which is not for the sacramental production, but for involvement in cannabis enterprise otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have signed a memorandum of understanding of a agreement or a tripartite, you might call it even a pilot project between Rastafari Food for Life and the government, what do you call it, business enterprise, which you call the National Asset Management Company, NAMCO, and Ethiopia Life, which I think you might be aware of in Jamaica, but Ethiopia Life is also established
in Antigua.
Here in Antigua.
Yes.
And so the joint enterprise with those three entities is called Grow Antigua Barbuda Limited.
Grow Antigua Barbuda.
Yes. And they have been granted a license to produce, and that license will go through all the processes because there are a number of things attached to obtaining the license. You have to have, the area where you're planting.
Security of tenure. You have to show security of tenure. Either you own it, lease it, or something, eh?
Yes. All that is what we have to, but in the sense that the government has indicated that with conscious thinking, really, and to overcome some of the gray areas.
And to the recommendations of CARICOM committee.
Well, very much so.
Yes,
much so,
if it's into
yes. Find that Professor Antwine and the commission's recommendations have not been taken on board seriously by these governments at all.
No, and it's them set it up.
Precisely.
Yes, it's them set it up.
They set it up initially, and they held consultations throughout, from Bahamas to Guyana, and even in Central America, in Belize, and in many of the islands here too. It was over 2 years that the commission has been holding.
I've been working and so on. Yes, King, you have to run now, my brother, but I really give thanks for this elucidation.
On a regional basis, and I'm glad to see that, at least they take in from the other islands.
Yes.
I want to give thanks and praise to the moment.
St. Lucia name for the country, the Indian name was, the original people's name was Ayanola.
Yeah.
Ayanola was St. Lucia.
Yeah, okay.
And for Antigua, our name was Wadadli. Yes, for Antigua. Yes, so we give thanks, yeah, man, that we're here and so on. So I don't know how you want to just bless up with that.
Yeah, truly to you, beloved, for having I, man. To you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
And Best FM and everyone that is listening and watching. And I say righteousness exalted the nation, but sin is a reproach unto each and every one.
Yes.
So let the wicked forsake their wicked ways and their thoughts. And I'm asking my people, in the name of the Most High and the ancestors, don't let these people use you to achieve their objective, their evil objective anymore. Just be yourself and love each other, because we are all we have. Dr. John Henry Clark said the Africans have no friend. We good by loving self and loving each other. We use this music to heal, to uplift, and to empower people. Like Brother Peter said, we as artists who have commissioned to do this work, we are using our arts and our skills to heal, to uplift, to empower people, you know, the down pressed, the underprivileged, and the forsaken. Give thanks. Give thanks.
All right. So we're going to close out today, Jen. Thanks a lot, right? Thanks a lot.
Couple seconds, you know, say one play come out this.
Play pop-up show, Oscar.
No, don't time, don't. I'm saying do one show.
And my next question is because we are the head of time, and the father, and the level, going back on this side, and the topic is not passing. So we are a partner, let's see that we
And then you fly it forward. Okay, the majesty right here. Nice. Thanks a lot, right?